the demo video for the Supplement Analyzer application. Our app allows users to scan in supplement labels to learn more about the ingredients it contains, and generate a report showing their daily intake of vitamins and minerals. So here's our application. The first page is just the startup screen giving a warning that the information may or may not be completely correct, and for users not to necessarily trust the information. Here's the home page. Up here on top you can see where the user can save certain ingredients that they see, and on the bottom you can see the save supplement area where it grabs some data from a local database that the user saved. So if you swipe to the right one more time, then you're brought to the page that allows you to read in the label. So down here on the bottom you see 3 buttons. If you click the read column button, you read in these columns of vitamin or mineral data. Then if you click read ingredients, then you're able to read in the ingredients data that's shown here on the right. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. We'll click read column. And this is using the phone's native camera app. So whether you're using this application on iOS or Android, you'll be using just that standard application. So here it takes us to a cropping utility to go ahead and crop out some of the unwanted data. And this does one main thing, is it just allows us to do less error correction. So if we're grabbing unwanted characters that are going to be sent to the OCR application, it makes it more difficult to pull out the data that we actually need to show the user. So now we're going to go ahead and read the ingredients. And it's important to get a good photo here because the OCR application depends on a good quality photo. So we'll go ahead and try to do that here. Oops. And if it doesn't work out, you can go ahead and click retry and give it another shot. And again, it'll take us to the cropping utility, so we can go ahead and crop out the suggested use there down below, because we don't necessarily need any of that. So now that we've read both of those 2 items in, we can go ahead and click submit and look at the results. So here up top you see that those first pieces of data that we read in, the vitamins and minerals, are showed up here on the top in a list. And there's a couple issues you can see here with how it was read in. So here at the top you see vitamin A 3500, and it should be IU at the end, but it's 10. We should have a case checking for that, so we'll go ahead and see if that's true later. Down at the bottom you see those ingredients that we read in. So you see calcium carbonate, potassium chloride, and many other ingredients. And again, you see some of the errors that can happen with the OCR program. So if you look down here at ascorbic acid, you see there's a C and a right parenthesis. So for errors like that, we allow the user to hold down the button and go ahead and change that text. So we can just erase that, click done, and you see it's been changed there. And all these down here on the bottom are buttons you can click. So if I were to click ascorbic acid, it queries the database, and we can go ahead and look at the overview of the data, the uses, the dosing, all this type of information. And down here on the right we can save that ingredient to our favorites. So we'll go ahead and click that now. And we got the data for this application from a few different sources. So if we were to click on one of these other ones, the data will be structured slightly differently, or it may be missing some of these uses or dosing or interactions, just depending on if it was included on our source pages that we got the information from. So now that we have this read in, we can go ahead and save the total supplement. So we'll just call this one Symposium Demo. And go ahead and click done on that. So now we can go back to our home page by swiping once back. You see that that ingredient that we saved, ascorbic acid, is now appear on the top half of our application homepage. And down here on the bottom, you see that we now have the Symposium Demo shown down here as well. So if we were to select this one and click Generate Daily Intake, we can see the daily intake of these different vitamins and minerals that we just read in. And if we want to go ahead and find out how much we're intaking total, if we're taking this, say this test, save supplement and our Symposium Demo, you can click that and it sums them up, so you can see that you'd be intaking 4.2 milligrams of vitamin A and so on as you go down. And also I can show you here, so vitamin A was the one that had that issue where the units was 10 instead of IU. That shows some of what our parser does, so it checks for certain cases that are wrong quite a lot. So sometimes, as we saw, an I will be read as a 1 or a U will be read as a 0, or sometimes other characters. So we just did some testing and added some cases to do some error correction on some of those to deal with some of those issues. And as I said up here, you can save those ingredients and click on them to see this data again. So that's our demo for this application. I think where we've gotten to has let us learn a lot about mobile development, and I hope you enjoyed this demo. Thanks.